A pleasant evening to everyone. Hello to our Facebook and YouTube viewers and participants. Welcome to the StackLeague AWS Tech Session Serverless Why Product Owners Choose Them. I am Ella and I will be your host for tonight's event. And we are seeing lots of participants today. So we have from Pamantasan of Cabuyao, University of the Philippines, Manila. We have Lyceum Malabang, and many more. So welcome guys, and we will assure you that you will learn a lot today. And I would like to remind everyone that if you have any questions regarding StackLeague or anything about the session, you can type them in the comment section. We will assure you to address them later at the Q&A session. And later, there will be a quick trivia game with our speaker, so make sure to stick with us until then to win prizes. So, before we dive into tonight's session, we would like to give you an overview of StackLeague. Geraldine Albaran of StackLeague will help me with that. Take it away, Geraldine.
Thank you, Ala. Good evening, everyone. Again, I am Geraldine. I will be sharing with you a quick overview of StackLeague. StackLeague is the Philippines' largest online programming league. Our mission is to develop programming leaders that inspires the nation into coding. The tournament is powered by StackTrek's fully automated analytics and assessment platform. Now, in its second competitive year, StackLeague wouldn't be possible without the support of our partners. We're fortunate to be supported by the top companies in the industry. We have silver sponsor, Coding Chips, and bronze sponsor, we have Microsoft, Dell Tech, System, Upper.ph, Recruit Day, and Gcash. Our media partners, we have SparkUp, Apps Gadget, What's Up Pilipinas, Corner Magazine PH, Androidis, Megabytes, Backend News, Bluewing, and Manila Republic. The same goes for our community partners who help the league reach as many programmers in the country as possible. Here they are. This pioneering programmer league was launched last year, March 16, 2021, and is now gathering over 10,000 tech talents across the country to test their leadership, perseverance, and coding skills with the promise of nationwide media recognition. Lots of prizes, thousands of tech job opportunities, and access to invitation-only events. The league's year-round cash prize pool is now at 10 million pesos in the duration of the whole competition. One of the highlights in StackLeague is weekly stack race for both individual and team categories. Each week, the top 10 challengers and the top 3 teams are announced all across StackLeague's social media platform to recognize the challengers who stayed on top of the rankings. Apart from this, we also have the StackLeague featured programmer and team campaign. The weekly top 10 challengers and top 3 teams are going to be featured on StackLeague's website and social media channels. StackLeague will also be hosting numerous tech and career sessions all throughout the year. Aside from this, there are also exclusive trainings available for ranking up to the next challenger levels. These events and trainings are all for free. StackLeague Ambassador Program is a year-round initiative to reward StackLeague challengers who go beyond competition and inspire the nation into coding. To tell you more about StackLeague Ambassador Program, here is a short clip for you. Congratulations to Denris Provido for being the StackLeague ambassador for April, winning the 3,000 pesos cash prize and StackLeague t-shirt. If you want to be the next StackLeague ambassador and win the cash prize and t-shirt, the program is now open for May. You can find the full mechanics at our website, bit.ly/StackLeagueAmbassador 2022. There are 5 supported programming languages in StackLeague. We have JavaScript, Java, Python, C#, and PHP. This is how the ranking system works. After signing up, you start at the bottom with 0 points. All you need to do is solve as many challenges as you can and earn the corresponding points. So the more points you earn, the higher your ranking goes. Once you have accumulated enough points, you can now go to the next level challenges where more opportunities are unlocked for you to access. There are 3 challenger levels. We have bronze, silver, and gold levels. The new thing for this year's challenger level up is the prizes. Unlock bronze level and you will receive 100 pesos. Unlock silver level and you will receive 100 pesos also. Unlock the gold level and you will receive 300 pesos. There is also the StackLeague Treasure Chest in individual category, wherein the weekly top 10 challenger will each receive 500 pesos cash prize. We also have the StackLeague Playoffs. StackLeague Playoffs is a single elimination tournament featuring all monthly qualifier where all weekly top 10 StackLeague challengers will automatically be invited to the monthly qualifier rounds. You can read the mechanics at bit.ly/StackLeague Playoffs 2022. To know more, here is another clip for you. Lastly, we are very excited to announce the StackLeague Lightning Series. If you're interested in testing your skill in a time-bound programming competition such as StackLeague Playoffs but couldn't get in the weekly top 10 to get invited, the Lightning Series is open to all unranked, bronze and silver challengers. You can find the mechanics at bit.ly/Lightning Series Mechanics. And that's it for the overview of StackLeague. And remember that as a year-round tournament, StackLeague is looking for the best challengers that can stay up in the ranks and become programming leaders for the long haul. That's all on my end. Back to you, Ella.
Thank you, Geraldine, for giving a short introduction of StackLeague. Okay, let's not delay any further. Amazon Web Services, AWS SICLab Pilipinas, brings people to uplift fellow developers and professionals in the Philippines with different Filipino industry leaders all over the world. The community aims to share the expertise in the field. Our resource speaker is currently the Director of Business Development in SIMP, a software consulting and product company. Previously led the community and program management across Asia Pacific program developer team. To held director positions in test and thinking machines. She loves building, enabling, and empowering communities. Currently, she's part of the advisory board of UXPH and leads AWS BuildHers Plus, a community of women and LGBT plus who grow and hone their cloud skills. Before our speaker join us here, let's take a look at this video.
Cloud computing is the on-demand delivery of IT resources via the internet. with pay-as-you-go pricing. Instead of buying, owning, and maintaining physical data centers and servers, you can access technology services such as computing power, storage, and databases on an as-needed basis from a cloud provider like Amazon Web Services. Organizations of every type, size, and industry are using the cloud for a wide variety of use cases, such as data backup, disaster recovery, email, virtual desktops, software development and testing, big data analytics, and customer-facing web applications. For example, healthcare companies are using the cloud to develop more personalized treatments for patients. Financial services companies are using the cloud to power real-time fraud detection and prevention. And video game makers are using the cloud to deliver online games to millions of players around the world. With cloud computing, your business can become more agile, reduce costs, instantly scale, and deploy globally in minutes. Cloud computing gives you instant access to a broad range of technologies so you can innovate faster and build nearly anything you can imagine. From infrastructure services such as compute, storage, and databases, to Internet of Things, machine learning, data analytics, and much more. You can deploy technology services in a matter of minutes and get from idea to implementation several orders of magnitude faster than before. This gives you the freedom to experiment and test new ideas to differentiate customer experiences and transform your business, such as adding machine learning and intelligence to your applications in order to personalize experiences for your customers and improve their engagement. You don't need to make large upfront investments in hardware and overpay for capacity you don't use. Instead, you can trade capital expense for variable expense and only pay for IT as you consume it. With cloud computing, you access resources from the cloud in real time, as they're needed. You can scale these resources up and down to grow or shrink capacity instantly as your business needs change. Cloud computing also makes it easy to expand to new regions and deploy globally in minutes. For example, Amazon Web Services has infrastructure all over the world, so you're able to deploy your application in multiple physical locations in just a few clicks. Putting applications in closer proximity to end users reduces latency and improves their experience. No matter your location, size, or industry, the cloud frees you from managing infrastructure and data centers so you can focus on what matters most to your business.
Let's give a warm welcome to Chelle Gray. Hi, Chelle.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. Hi Elle. Thanks for having me here. Should I start my presentation, Elle? All right.
Sure, ma'am.
Okay, give me a second. I'll share my screen. Good afternoon again, everyone. I hope you're comfortable at your homes. I'm looking forward to learn something today. Right, I guess my screen's loading. Can everyone see my screen now? All right, so my topic today is serverless, why it's a product owner's choice. I hope you heard about serverless, and if you haven't, you're going to learn something new today. Right. So I'm going to share a little bit about me. So I currently work as a director of business development and partnerships at SIM. We're a software development company and software development and a product company. So we believe in love, change, and hack. So if you're interested to know more about what we do in SIM, So just check out www.sip.co. But prior to that, I was with Google for 5 years. I built and managed Google developer groups and women tech makers across APAC. After which, I thought, like, I want to use tech and social good. So I joined Globe Telecoms to head their corporate social responsibility team, and we did amazing stuff there, from education to volunteering. If you're using your rewards points, that was part of my project before also. So you can now donate using your reward points to any charitable organizations that's partner or in partnership with your platforms. I also joined a data science and machine learning startup, Thinking Machines. But I took a break. I focused on my family and to take care of my mother. Eventually, I joined CPI. They were a software development company also here in the Philippines, and they're looking for new revenue streams for their company. So I headed the partnership or the partner alliance with AWS, and I really got excited because I get to learn something new and outside of my Google knowledge. So if you're a student right now, think of how you can expand your knowledge, and you should continue learning. You don't have to be comfortable or complacent and say, hey, I'm an expert already in this field, or I know already this particular technology, etc. So in the tech industry, there's always something new to learn, and technology is practically changing every week. So keep an open mind, keep that lifelong learner kind of spirit in you, so you'll go places. Aside from my day-to-day job, I love volunteering. The community management and community building is really part of my DNA. So I love to volunteer when I have extra time. So I'm part of the advisory board of UXPH, and I'm also the community lead of AWSUG BuildHers Plus. So our community practically wants to help out women and LGBT plus, from the LGBT plus community, to hone and learn, AWS and cloud skills to enable them to, for career growth, or simply, to add to their skills, right? So as I said earlier, we're in the tech industry, you always need to learn something new. And if you're interested to learn more about the community, all you need to do is go to our Facebook group and join the community. If you're just starting out, even if you're a student, you're very much welcome there. Or if you're a beginner, you're very much welcome there. Again, it's a community for women and LGBT plus to hone their AWS skills. We do monthly virtual meetups, and we also do quarterly mentoring for certifications. Once you have a certification, it also adds your marketability, and some people was able to get better positions or better job offers, or even a promotion because they got certifications. So right now we're focused on doing mentoring certifications for two types of certification: AWS Cloud Practitioner and AWS Solutions Architect Associate. So we just finished the mentoring sessions last March. So watch out for the next batch. So most likely we'll do it around June or July. Again, if you're interested to volunteer, to help us organize events, or to speak also, or just simply attend, or learn AWS or cloud skills, come and join us at AWS UG Builders Plus. Or if you're more comfortable in a much bigger group or more general group, you can always join AWS UG, also our users group. All right. So my talk is about product owners, why they should choose serverless, right? But let's try to understand first the difference between a product manager and a product owner. So a product manager is basically external focused. So the product manager thinks of the long-term strategy, the market and customer needs. while the product owner is internal focus, so the requirements implementation, development process. But in some cases, if you're in a startup, sometimes you do both. You're the product manager and the product owner. In a much bigger team setting, this could have separate functionalities or separate responsibilities also. So just to give you a brief overview, if you're purely functioning as a product owner, it's internal focus, it's all about requirements implementation, development process, why you should pick certain technologies, how you can optimize your team, and etc. So moving forward, I'm going to quickly share about serverless computing. So you learned about cloud computing earlier. So what is serverless computing? So serverless computing or serverless basically is an execution model where the cloud provider, so there are three giant cloud providers right now, AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud. There are other players also, but these are the three major cloud computing companies or giants. So is responsible for executing a piece of code by dynamically allocating the resources and only changing for the amount of resources to run the code. So it basically makes your life a lot easier. So if you're a product owner and or a product manager working in a very small team, it's makes sense to go serverless because you can focus on the features of the product, time to market, and etc. So we'll get through that. We'll get to that point. So what is serverless architecture? So a serverless architecture is a way to build and run applications and services rather without having to manage infrastructure. So if you remember, before there were physical servers, di ba may mga nakikita kayo sa mga companies or offices na may mga malalaking servers and etc. Now it's on the cloud and it's a lot easier and it's shared infrastructure. So your application still runs on the servers, but the server management is done by AWS. So it helps you to focus on the things that matter. So the headache or the management part, no infrastructure, even the maintenance, it's all taken care of AWS. No? So a reason to adopt serverless architectures, your software engineering teams can build agile applications, stay competitive by responding to changing customer requirements faster. So I'll give you a quick analogy or like a quick idea or a use case. So in my case, in my experience, we were building, in my previous job, we were building a product where we can help the insurance industry, basically. So we wanted to build a marketplace or a platform, an insurance platform where they can sell, all these traditional products and sell it via online, or they can actually book it online. So one good example is when you want to renew your motor insurance. So usually you talk or you work with an agent, right? And the agent will process all the papers and etc. So what we want to do or we want to actually encourage the insurance companies is for their customers to be able to renew these products without having to go face to face kasi nagka-pandemic, or enabling their agents to be able to renew the insurance, the motor insurance for their customers without having to physically go to the office, right? So there are several ways of doing it, but we thought like, okay, using serverless architecture will help test the idea if there's really a market or a need from the insurance companies and etc. So since we're just creating the product and we're gonna market it, so we really wanted to use an architecture or a technology that will be able to help us run with less headache, with less infrastructure to worry, and we just focus on the features and the feedback from the possible customers. Right. So the 5 benefits of serverless architecture, as I mentioned, if you're a product owner, it's faster time to market, reduced resource dependency. So because you don't have to worry about managing the infrastructure. So if you don't have somebody may specialty into DevOps or into security, so you don't have to worry about that. AWS can help take care of that also. Reduce operational costs because you don't have to buy a lot of servers, you don't have to invest into expensive stuff. You were able to reduce operational costs also. More bandwidth to be creative. Again, you can focus on looking into adding more features or validating also if those features that you want to introduce is something that the customers really need. And then ease of deployment, right? So we'll talk more about this on each benefit so that you can understand better. So time to market. Launching a product is critical. You want to be the first in the market or to offer or validate and get feedback on the product that you launch, right? So for example, you want to create an app na competitor ng Grab or their grocery app, right? So the time to market, like during the height of the pandemic where no one can go out, everyone wants to buy, and have their groceries or essentials delivered. So you want to test your app, really fast if the new feature that you've added is something that the customers need. So for example, sa feature nung app mo is they can actually monitor the inventory of their essentials and meron magpa-pop or may notification that it's time for them to replenish their stocks or their items. Wala na silang pansit canton, wala na silang laundry soap or wala na silang laundry powder and things like that. So it's a feature that you want to test if the customers will like that or if it will give you edge over your competitors. So the number one benefit of serverless architecture is accelerated time to market. Faster time to market is an outcome of accelerated engineering process in SDLC or software development life cycle, right? This includes facilitating faster development and allowing greater developer focus on the application of code. So hindi mo kailangan isipin yung pag-manage ng infrastructure because pwede siyang mag-auto-scale or pwede mo siyang iset na pag maraming transaction on a certain time period, then you can adjust the ability to actually scale on its own. Ayan, so nasabi ko yung scalability, nabanggit ko na, right? So developers can tune their applications for peak performance and load times with serverless architectures. No more challenges of running out of resources when processing requests rapidly or perhaps at a higher volume. Na-experience nyo ba you wanted to book a flight, pre-pandemic days, and yung mga piso sale and piso fares, right? So you want to take advantage. But sometimes you get so frustrated because you couldn't get through, the items that you want to book, right? Or the flight that you want to book, rather. So yung frustration of, not being able to accommodate. Of course, the company itself was doing that promotion. Yung frustration also of the power to be able to scale really fast and accommodate the volume of the transactions also. But with serverless, this has the ability to actually accommodate yung influx of transactions. So going back to my experience when we were building the product for the insurance industry at the time, so we thought of during the peak times where they have to renew their licenses or yung what do you call this, permits for their cars and etc. So pwede namin iset yun na, okay, so ang peak hours ng transaction is between 8 to 11 a.m. and the downtime is between say, since wala na nagtatransact sa gabi o wala na nagre-renew, we can put the downtime between 10 to 12. On the other hand, if it's a, say, a travel insurance type of product, then, height ng mga travel, where people avail of travel insurance is, say, during holidays, a day before they go for Christmas vacation. Or right now, since it's pandemic, everyone's required to have a travel insurance with COVID coverage. So you want, a 24-hour service, and during certain peak hours, you'll be able to accommodate, the bulk of the transactions without having to worry na kailangan merong nakabantay doon para mag-adjust lang nung scale or to accommodate the transactions also. So this is what I'm saying, that reduce dependence, which includes risk on resources also. Right. So reduce operational costs. So paano mangyayari yun? How will this happen? How can it help, startups or even enterprises? So it's a lot easier because it's pay per use. So a serverless computing approach offers a pay per use model. So this allows the application to become inherently scalable with a minimum initial investment. As a result, with the help of serverless architectures, it is easier for product owners to optimize budgets while worrying significantly less about the marketability and resource-related operational costs. So again, in our case, since wala pa naman kaming paying customer when we were developing the product, right? So when we were testing, we were at the free tier, and during demo, you can actually use the free tier also. But when you deploy or when you engage or close a deal and deploy it to each client or each company, then you can actually set, the parameters and set kung more or less ano yung initial transactions, and anything beyond, the initial free tier are the only ones that you need to pay. So you get to save on the certain cost rather than paying for a fixed amount for a certain size ng server. So again, serverless is actually more wise to use if you want to reduce operational costs or if you want to manage your budget also. And feel free to ask questions if you have questions, or if I'm going too fast, please let me know also. So another important thing, if you're a product owner or you're part of the development team, you have more bandwidth to focus on creative concepts, right? So how do we do this? Like with serverless architecture, doing the complex work, your software engineering teams could focus on more productive and challenging work while being creative. And serverless computing gives your team more time to develop the best ideas and maximize value creation for your business applications. No? So as I mentioned, you can focus like, what else can we introduce or what else can we test? Like in StackLeague, yeah, they have ambassadors, they have the badges, and etc. So if you're creating an app, say for moms, right? Maybe you can add like rewards points when they buy. Every time they buy 10 to 12 packs of Pancit Canton, or they want to buy more vitamins for their young kids, or every time they buy a gallon or a liter of milk, so you can add points or discounts and etc. If you're doing the you're trying to do a grocery app, right? So you can be really creative and put in more focus on what else you can introduce, or if there's a certain feature in your product that's not working, then you can pivot and change that into something that your customers will really appreciate more, or it will help your customers to be more engaged in using your product or your app. So for product owners, this means that they can try out newer ideas, experiment with emerging technologies, and be able to assess the feasibility of such initiatives to prototypes or early iterations. Kaya madali siya or maganda siyang gamitin, especially on an agile process. And then ease of deployment. So what does this mean, ease of deployment? Serverless computing, makes continuous deployment easier. Product managers can use the serverless approach to test their applications in production by enabling features and letting them run without changing too many other things. Besides, the functions can be deployed to some users with low latency while having the same version running elsewhere, enabling powerful strategies like A/B testing for concept validation and something that every product owner wants. So, for example, you're testing a feature here in Manila. So, mas maraming kang customers or possible customers versus another emerging market, say Baguio City or even Puerto Princesa in Palawan, right? So you can actually test, the same set of features in different settings and be able to see kung may interest ba, if things are picking up, or surprisingly, there's more demand in Baguio versus in Palawan or in Metro Manila. So you can run those experiments and you can run those tests also. That's why serverless actually parang makes continuous deployment a lot easier. Right. So serverless architecture is a need, not a choice. So if you're creating products or developing products that you think will have high volume, but you have budget constraints, or you're trying to be conservative with your budget, or at least be creative with the budget that you have, then the best way or the best thing to go to is serverless. Yes, so can we actually quickly play a video before I proceed?
Cloud computing.
When you're building applications, you want them to deliver a great experience for your users. Maybe you want your application to generate in-app purchase options during a gaming session, rapidly validate street address updates, or make image thumbnails available instantly after a user uploads photos. To make this magic happen, your application needs back-end code that runs in response to events like image uploads, in-app activity, website clicks, or sensor outputs. But managing the infrastructure to host and execute back-end code requires you to size, provision, and scale a bunch of servers, manage operating system updates, apply security patches, and then monitor all this infrastructure for performance and availability. Wouldn't it be nice if you could just focus on building great applications without having to spend lots of time managing servers? Introducing AWS Lambda. AWS Lambda is a compute service that runs your backend code in response to events such as object uploads to Amazon S3 buckets, updates to Amazon DynamoDB tables, data in Amazon Kinesis streams, or in-app activity. Once you upload your code to Lambda, the service handles all the capacity, scaling, patching, and administration of the infrastructure to run your code and provides visibility into performance by publishing real-time metrics and logs to Amazon CloudWatch. All you need to do is write the code. AWS Lambda is very low cost and does not require any upfront investment. When you use AWS Lambda, you're simply charged a low fee per request and for the time your code runs, measured in increments of 100 milliseconds. Getting started with AWS Lambda is easy. There are no new languages, tools, or frameworks to learn. You can use any third-party library, even native ones. The code you run on AWS Lambda is called a Lambda function. You just upload your code as a zip file, or design it in the integrated development environment in the AWS Management Console. Or you can select from a list of function samples pre-built for common use cases such as image conversion, file compression, and change notifications. And built-in support for the AWS SDK makes it easy to call other AWS services. Once your function is loaded, you select the event source to monitor, such as an Amazon S3 bucket or Amazon DynamoDB table, and within a few seconds, Lambda will be ready to trigger your function automatically when an event occurs. With Lambda, any event can trigger your function, making it easy to build applications that respond quickly to new information. To learn more about AWS Lambda, visit our website and you can get your first Lambda function up and running with a few clicks in the AWS Management Console. And with the AWS free tier, you can try Lambda for free.
All right. Thank you very much. I hope you learned something about AWS Lambda. Okay. So I'll share lang. You've heard about serverless architecture, but in AWS, there are 5 pillars of well-architected framework, and you can really use this when you do serverless or when you use serverless for your applications. So there's best practices or businesses and architectural trade-offs, right? With well-architected framework. So there are 5 pillars: operational excellence, security, reliability, and performance efficiency and cost optimization. So daanan natin lahat itong 5 pillars of well-architected framework. So operational excellence, it means the ability to run and monitor systems to deliver business value and to continually improve supporting processes and procedures. So it basically perform operations as code, annotate documentation, make frequent small and reversible changes. So this is really important. Refine operations procedures frequently, anticipate failure, and learn from all operational failures, right? So those are really, really important. With security, the ability to protect information, systems, and assets while delivering business value through through risk assessments rather, and mitigation strategies. So you can implement a strong identity foundation, enable traceability, apply security at all layers, automate security best practices, protect data in transit and at rest, and prepare for security events. When we were doing the app before, so we thought of like separating the databases versus some the databases when they're trying to buy something online versus the actual production database for the entire back-end system company. So in any case, magkaroon ng hacking or unfortunate incidences, they won't be able to penetrate all the data. So parang may limited data lang sila na in case ma-access. So again, you need to protect also. Apply security at all layers. This is what I'm saying. Automate security best practices and protect data in transit and at rest. Prepare for security events also. So security is really, really important, and AWS puts importance on security, and there's a shared responsibility model also. So, importante sa AWS yung security because they use it also for their own products. Sa Amazon, if you're buying anything from Amazon, so they really put importance on security. Reliability, ability of a system to recover from infrastructure or service disruptions, dynamically acquire competing resources to meet demand and mitigate disruptions such as misconfigurations or transient network issues, right? So test recovery procedures, that's one. Automatically recover from failure, scale horizontally to increase aggregate system availability, stop guessing capacity. So ano nga ba? Do I need more, storage, and etc. And then manage change in automation. And then there's performance efficiency, ability to use computing resources efficiently to meet system requirements and to maintain that efficiency as demand changes and technologies evolve. Democratize advanced technologies. Go global in minutes. So um, if you created an app, you can actually launch it in different countries or in different time zones, and then you can go global with your launch. So technology is basically a great equalizer. So no matter where you are in the Philippines, as long as you have good internet connections, you can create your own products, launch some ideas, and eventually go global. And then use serverless architectures, experiment more often, mechanical sympathy. Again, cost optimization, ability to run systems to deliver business value at lowest price point. Adopt a consumption model, and then measure overall efficiency. Stop sending money on data center operations. Analyze and attribute expenditure, and then use managed services to reduce cost of ownership. I think everyone will be able to relate on measure overall efficiency, lalo na kung startup ka and you're starting pa lang. So parang every cost or every expense really counts also. And then if you want to learn more about AWS Lambda, so you can actually go to the site. You can run code without thinking about servers or clusters. You can run code without provisioning or managing infrastructure. You can automatically respond to code execution requests at any scale, from a dozen events per day to hundreds of thousands per second. So depending on your market and the scalability again. So this is really important. Again, saves cost by paying only for the compute time that you use. So per millisecond instead of provisioning infrastructure upfront for peak capacity. And then again, there's optimization of code execution, time and performance with the right function memory size. So the first million requests is free per month in AWS, and you can actually use this for like school projects. Kung meron kayo naisip like sa enrollment sa schools, kung medyo malaki yung influx, or simply mga requests internally sa mga schools, or even like payrolls at a certain time point. So if you want to use it like for thesis ideas or projects, or if you want to launch your own startup, you can actually test and use AWS Lambda. So you must be wondering, what languages does AWS Lambda support? So AWS Lambda natively supports Java, Go, PowerShell, Node.js, C#, Python, Ruby code, and also it has a runtime API, which allows you to use any additional programming languages to author your functions. So, but the major programming languages, so supported siya ng AWS Lambda. Yeah. So you might be asking, I want to learn about Lambda. Where do I start? So you can simply go to this site, https awsamazon.com. So you can get started with hands-on session on, then you can run serverless code. Or you can also follow the tutorial or join the community. If you have questions, the community actually is very accommodating in terms of answering from beginners to kung nasa advanced stage ka naman, and then you have questions also, we can help out in the community then. So lastly, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I also have some pop-up quiz if you're okay with it, if you're game to join. So I have some AWS items that I'll be giving away to anyone who will be able to answer the pop quiz also. So you have AWS Notebook, AWS Cap, and AWS Tumbler. You can use for coffee or for any cold drinks or any hot drinks also. So StackLeague will just get, kung kayo yung mananalo or kayo yung makakasagot, we'll just get your details on where to ship it. So if you're within Metro Manila, I can, excuse me, arrange for, Lala Move or, this delivery services. If you're outside of Metro Manila, we'll find a way to get it to you, or we'll send you a different item. But we'll make it work. We'll find ways. So let me know if you have any questions, or do you want to proceed now with the pop-up quiz? So ang rule na lang natin with the pop-up quiz, anyone who can answer in the comment sections, the first one to answer in the comment section will be able to get the prizes. So, okay ba sa inyo yun? How does that sound? I hope it's okay. Alright. Sige. Elle, do we have any questions from our attendees? Oh. Alright. So there's a question from Hans. This webinar has been very insightful so far, but can I ask, why do you think the tech industry in the Philippines is far less competitive than that of other countries? I would say, Philippines are very talented, in a sense that, we're skilled, and some of the best programmers that I know are self starters and self learners. One of the costs that I think where we can improve is learning the latest technologies. Unfortunately, our curriculum changes every 5 years, and in the tech industry, you have to be really fast, because the technologies keeps on changing. Next week lang, there's another new technology that's being introduced, right? So we need to catch up also. On the other hand, on the student side, you can actually learn on your own. When I was starting out my career in tech, there's not a lot of resources. We would actually spend a lot of money and order books, and share it with friends and colleagues, meet up in coffee shops to be able to learn together. Kaya doon nag-start yung mga communities, actually, yung mga user groups, because you wanted to learn and you wanted to hone your skills, and you wanted to catch up also with the latest and the best practices also. But this shouldn't be a hindrance right now, because there's so many resources that's available, and so many free courses too. If my memory serves me right, DOST actually gives out the what do you call this, the vouchers for Coursera at one point, or there's a lot of webinars like this right now, like StackLeague and other communities are organizing. So all you need to do is actually learn, and Google's your best friend, so you can Google a lot of information or a lot of online workshops, and then you can always go to the community and ask questions. So Hans, hopefully that answers your questions. Just to quickly add, what I saw also in other countries naman, they have a need for local apps, simply because they prefer to use their local languages. Like in Indonesia, they prefer to speak and to use apps, like even for productivity, for education, or even for games. That's in Bahasa. Same thing with Vietnam. Same thing with Thailand. I guess in the Philippines, we don't see the actual need for localized apps, because we're very good in English, so we tend to use any apps that's available. But if we can turn things around, and um, we can actually use more locally developed apps, then it would help the industry as a whole.
So yeah, I hope, Sir Lance, that answers your question. Let's proceed now to the next question, Chell.
All right. Did I miss out anything? Oh, okay. From Allison,
So
serverless
this,
is more safe and secured.
yeah,
Is that it? Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, in general, it's safe and secured. But again, you have to do your part. So if you're the developer or if you're the team that deploys it to serverless, you have to put extra security layers. But the infrastructure that AWS uses on its own, it's actually safe and secured. There are guides also, and there's a lot of tutorials on how you can make your apps more secured as well.
Thank you, Chell. There's another question again from the YouTube viewers.
Oh, all
It's
right. Okay.
from Mr. Emeterio Katabay. Is serverless can be on long term?
What do you mean by that?
Be-
So
And there's a
serverless has
follow-up
been
question po.
because it may be more cost efficient. Well,
Yeah.
it has been used for years now, and if you're saying that there's a possibility that AWS will discontinue this product or this technology, I don't think so because there's a lot of companies already that's using AWS Lambda. So, for example, like Coca-Cola, there's a lot of big companies that actually uses AWS Lambda already. So yes, it's for long term.
Okay. There's another question again from Mr. John Paul Pineda. Here it is. Hello, what is the biggest project have you worked with the AWS and why do you prefer AWS rather than any cloud platforms?
Okay. Um, Personally, on the projects that on the previous work that uh, on the previous company that I was part of, we were working on like for insurance industry, we migrated them on AWS, and they practically um, it was able to save a lot on costs on the actual servers because when you actually have to replace a server that would cost you a minimum at least of 20 million pesos, right? So um, with AWS, we were able to help them save a lot on cost because you only pay per month, or if you prefer to pay, annually per year or 3 years, something like that, it still saves you a whole amount. So think of it as, if you spend on capex, yung mga servers data you really spend and you put it in capex, nagiging operational expense na lang siya. That's how convenient and how parang in terms of cost, it's a lot easy also. So why why you prefer AWS? Uh, there's a lot of companies that are using it already. There's a lot of partners and experts already in the industry. So it's a lot easier when you need to say do manage when you need another company to do managed services, you can easily get support. And then AWS also is actually the pioneer in terms of cloud computing. So personal preference is AWS. That's why I'm part of the community also. Hope that answers your question, John Paul.
Okay, I guess. There's another question from Hosh. Here it
Mhm.
is. Can individuals use Lambda or only for companies because of the cost?
Probably, I'm just assuming. Hash, you can make a comment also, right? When you say individuals use Lambda, meaning you want to use it like for your own development, or you want to tweak it like for personal use or for personal projects, or if you're learning pa lang, yes, you can use Lambda also, and you can basically use the free tier to learn and deploy projects, or to actually use it if you're a startup also, and you want to launch a product, and you want to test it in the market. You can actually use you can still use Lambda and Serverless and use the free tier muna until you'll be able to close a deal and deploy it to and then you can easily scale it. Other Hash said it's for personal projects. Yes, so you can actually use the free tier Hash.
Okay, thank you, Chelle. Let's look for another question here. I guess you answered this already. I guess that's the last question, Chelle.
All right, so maybe it's my turn. What do you think, Geraldine? I can.
Yeah, you can
do
start now
quiz.
your questions po.
All
You can
right.
start now.
Thank you very much for your questions and for being so engaged in this talk. And hopefully you learned something. Oh, there's one more question. Can we accommodate this from Christian?
Yeah, sure. Okay. Good evening, ma'am. Knowing that there is no perfect system or program, software, hardware, I would like to know if there are any other cons or of serverless except for the cost.
Hmm.
From
Good
Christian.
question. Well, I haven't seen the downside of using serverless. It's mostly like you need to understand where you're going to use it. So um, that's basically trying to figure out on um, when to use serverless or when to use other technologies to be able um, to address yung mga concerns na ganon. So far, no negative side, but let me get back to you if there's any cons or downside with serverless architectures.
Okay. So thank you everyone for your questions, and thank you for Chelle, for answering our participants' question. You can start now the your prepared questions po. Yeah.
All right, sige.
Okay.
Sige, our rule na lang, Geraldine, is the first one to answer sa comments. So hopefully you can help me out, monitor who's the first
sure.
one. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. Are you guys ready? So first pop quiz. What's AWS serverless product? A, AWS EC2, B, AWS S3, C, AWS Lambda, D, AWS Aurora. All right. First one to answer gets a cap.
Okay.
Who's our winner?
It's Jason Celestino.
Good.
Yeah.
Jason,
The answer is letter C.
congratulations.
Okay.
You got the cap. All right. Are you ready for the next question? Ready na sa
I think
competitive
there's
yata
super ready
tayo.
na po. Super excited for the prizes, no?
Oo nga eh. So our next prize is an AWS notebook. So I'll give you a pen and a sticker also to go with it.
Wow.
All right. How many requests are part of the free tier in AWS Lambda? 1 million, 10 million, 100 million, or 100,000? First one to answer.
I guess.
All right.
What's the right?
Who's our answer? Who's our winner? 1 million is the right answer.
It's
Wow,
Mr.
congratulations,
Hans Lawrence
Hans.
Sison from the app Live.
All right.
Congratulations, Mr. Hans.
Congratulations. O, last na to, guys. Ha? So, ready
It's a
na.
mag.
Ready. Nakikinig sila at least, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Sige. Last question. Medyo mahirap-hirap to. What are the 5 benefits of going serverless? Hopefully you can type it. What are the 5 benefits of serverless?
Just
It's a
type your comment in the comment section. I guess they're still thinking of the right answer.
Oo, medyo madami. 5 eh. Kanina pa
Yes,
isa-isa na.
that's 5 benefits.
Hopefully naalala nila.
Okay, there is an answer here from John Paul Pineda.
No, JP, that's for the well-architected framework.
Okay,
Sayang.
you can try it again, I guess.
Yeah, that's right.
There's another here from Troy Liam. Is
Eliminate
it correct,
word.
Chell?
Kulang, dalawa lang eh. Saka kulang
Okay.
siya.
How about Miss Julia rather?
Sige, balikan ko ha. Yung slide ko na yun ha. Tignan natin.
Okay.
Mabilisan na yun.
Just to be sure, ma'am.
Para maano nila. I think medyo mabilis yung part na yun eh. So, eto siya. Oh, there you go. Oh, okay. So I think we have a winner, si John Paul Pineda.
Yeah, he got the right answer.
Reduce the dependency, reduce operational costs, more bandwidth to be creative, and ease of deployment. Congratulations, JP.
Okay, congratulations, John Paul Pineda, for the mug, right?
Alright. Sige. I'll proceed. So congratulations to our 3 winners. Please don't forget to coordinate with the StackLeague team so that I can get
just
your
coordinate with
details and
us.
where to send it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sige.
Alright.
Okay na ang ating mga pop quiz. So, thank you again, StackLeague. Thank you to the very engaged audience, both in YouTube and in Facebook. Please do keep in touch. You can connect with me in LinkedIn, or if you want to have an experience of how we do things at SIMP, you can join our Discord channel, SIMP and Friends. So all you need to do is go to this link also. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shell, for that insightful and informative presentation. Knowing that many of our participants and viewers are from various type of courses that involve technology and have expressed interest in future trends of the industry. Okay, so congratulations to the winners also. So, okay, so for the announcement, first we have StackLeague Job Street, Career Session, A Stronger Workforce After the Pandemic on May 18. Wednesday at 6 p.m. Next, we have StackLeague UX/PH Tech Session, Web Accessibility Done Right, Common Design Gaps and How to Fix Them on May 25, that's Wednesday at 6 p.m. There are plenty of opportunities for you to learn here in StackLeague. Go to epi.com/StackLeague/events for the registration details and get the latest updates. Next, to help StackLeague team improve the session for you, answer this 5 minutes question form bit.ly/StackLeague session feedback, or you can scan the QR code flash on your screen. Next, we have StackLeague Ambassador for May is now accepting entries. Earn your ambassador points now and visit bit.ly/StackLeague Ambassador 2022. Next, we will also make sure to earn league points to unlock challenger levels and receive the prizes. Don't forget also to check out the StackLeague Lightning Series. Visit bit.ly/Lightning Series Mechanics for more info. So that's all for the announcement. On behalf of the StackLeague team, I would like to say thank you to everyone for joining the StackLeague AWS Tech Session. Serverless, why product owners choose them. If you don't have a StackLeague account yet, make sure to sign up now at stackleague.com, and of course, invite your friends and family who you think should be part of the league. See you guys at the next StackLeague event. This has been your host, Ella. Good night, everyone. Bye!